Hi, welcome to the homework help video for 2.1.1, problem 2-6. This problem reads, a tile pattern has 5 tiles in figure 0 and adds 7 tiles in each new figure. Write the equation of the line that represents the growth of this pattern. So we're trying to write an equation, right? So we're trying to write an equation of a line that represents the growth of this pattern. So as we look at what it's given us, and I've already drawn it out so you didn't have to sit here and watch me draw out a bunch of tiles, but in our figure 0, you notice that we started with 5 tiles, and then they said each time we increased to the next figure, we were going to add in 7 more tiles. Right, so that means that in our figure 1, right, we had our original 5 tiles and then we added 7 more. So now we've got a total of 12 tiles in that one, and feel free to count them if you want to. The next one, right, we increased our figure number again, so we needed 7 more tiles. So 12 plus 7 is going to give us a total of 19 tiles. As we look at this, we can kind of draw out what's happening in a table as well. We could call this our figure number. And then we're talking about the number of tiles. Right, so in figure 0, we started out with 5 tiles. And then each time we increase that figure number, we're having to add 7 more. So we had 1, 12. And then our figure 2, we had 19, we just said there. As this number increases by 1 each time, this number is increasing by 7. So if we increase this again, we don't have this tile pattern drawn out on our paper, but if we increase that to the third figure, we know then we would have to increase our number of tiles by 7. So 19 plus 7 is going to give us 26. Now, this table that I have drawn here is similar to an input-output table or an XY chart, right? So we're trying to come up with an equation that's going to represent the number of tiles for whatever figure we're in, right? So if we think about it, right, we have the number of tiles is like our output, okay? And we're going to think about how many did we start with. So our starting amount, and then how many times are we going to add 7? Plus, right, so that means we're adding 7 each time, so plus 7 times, right, like our figure number. So when we think about it in that respect, right, we're always going to start out with 5, and then if we add 7, right, if we wanted to figure out how many we would have, we could think of this as an equation saying y would equal, our starting amount was 5, and then we're going to add 7, right? We say for whatever number of figures we want. So x would be appropriate there. So if I wanted to say, hey, how many tiles would I have on my, let's say, our 5th figure, right? How many tiles would we have? Well, we could think of this 5 as our x value, right? We could plug it in here. We could say, all right, I'm going to put in 5 right here. I'm going to do 5 plus 7 times our figure number, right? So when we think about that, 7 times 5 is 35. We have 5 plus 35, right, should equal our y, which would then end up being 40. So we should have 40 tiles in our 5th figure. Now, if we just continue our table, you'll see we've got, if we increase this one, we would add 7 to our 26, which would give us 33. And then if we increase it to 5, we would add 7 again, and that would give us 40, just using that same pattern. So the answer to our problem 2-6 would be something like this. Y is equal to 5 plus 7x. If you have questions about this one, please make sure you mark them down and ask in class. Thanks for